President Joe Biden will travel to the Middle East next month. He is slated to visit Israel, the West Bank, and Saudi Arabia. While in Saudi Arabia, the president will attend the GCC+3 summit, bringing together 9 heads of state. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says Saudi Arabia has been a strategic partner with America for nearly 8 decades. And joining me now is Clare Lopez, founder and president of Lopez Liberty LLC. Clare, great to see you again. Let's talk about this upcoming trip to the Middle East. During his campaign, then candidate Biden was really quite critical of Saudi Arabia and its leadership. But now the Biden administration seems willing to work with the country. I'd like to get your thoughts on that and what you expect from this upcoming trip.
Well, I think the main reason for the change in U.S. policy under the Biden administration vis-a-vis Saudi Arabia is, of course, our energy crisis here in America, where the Biden administration is completely unwilling to remove restrictions and regulations that would open up energy production here at home, but now is ready to go to other places like Saudi Arabia to ask them to increase oil production.
And Claire, let's talk about that, especially when it pertains to our own national security.
Well, the situation of being energy dependent again, as you know, opposed to the situation that President Donald Trump left us in, which was to be energy independent. It's a very big change. And regarding U.S. national security, if we are dependent on other nations, be they partners, allies, or adversaries, like Venezuela, for example, like Russia, for example, adversaries, that puts U.S. national security at a distinct disadvantage as regards national security, it seems to me.
Yeah, and as mentioned, President Biden will also visit Israel and the West Bank to meet with the Palestinian Authority. What, if anything, do you think will be achieved by those meetings?
Well, I don't know that very much will be achieved. We know that the Biden administration is hoping to open some kind of a new direct Palestinian office or Office for Palestinian Affairs in Israel. Even after the Israelis have turned down any thought of opening a separate consulate or a separate diplomatic facility for a direct U.S. to Ramallah relations, because under the Trump administration, of course, the United States moved our embassy to Jerusalem, the one and only undivided eternal capital of the Jewish state of Israel. And so the Biden administration seems to be trying to kind of get around that. So I don't know that very much will be accomplished on the Israel part of the trip or the part in Ramallah.
On a different note, Claire, but staying in the Middle East, as we know, Iran is moving 27 cameras, removing that is, that are used by the International Atomic Energy Agency in order to monitor the country's nuclear sites. Let's talk about the tension that this move is creating.
Right. Well, this comes in the very same week when the IAEA announced essentially that there is no more breakout time for the Iranian nuclear weapons program. The breakout time is now 0. And in that very same week, we get the report, as you mentioned, that the Iranians have disabled or disconnected cameras. These are both at the Natanz and the Fordo nuclear enrichment sites, leaving the IAEA essentially blind without being able to monitor what is going on inside of those enrichment facilities, particularly, for example, as regards the installment of newer, better, faster, newer generation centrifuges, for example.
And we have a little bit less than a minute left or so, Claire, but I want to talk about Russia and Ukraine now. Russia is continuing its attacks, honing in on the eastern Ukraine. Can you talk the strategy behind that, and how much longer do you think this war will go on?
You know, sadly for the Ukrainian people, it could go on for quite a while. What's happening now is that the Russians are back to probably what was their original and core objective for this invasion in the first place back in February of this year, and that was the complete conquest of the Donbas, consisting of two oblasts, Luhansk and Donetsk. And the current offensive is basically an artillery slugfest, particularly focused on the remaining holdout city of Severodonetsk in northern Luhansk Oblast. And if they achieve that, the Russians achieve the fall of that city into their hands, they will essentially control a very good part of the Donbas, which was their original objective.
Well, Claire, we're going to leave it right there. Thank you so much, as always, for your analysis. We appreciate it.
Thank you.